Oh, hi, Professor. Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just... now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do? I can't relax if I'm doing nothing. I need something to keep me occupied or I'll go nuts. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh! You're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end. Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and delicious, and it goes so well with piping hot tea. Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible. I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks. Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. So, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try to not try, but it just doesn't work. Professor? You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, you've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
Here you are.
Oh, were you looking for me, Felix?
You were injured in the last battle. Are you okay?
I'm fine now. Thank you for your concern.
You really are troublesome.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to get in your way out there. I just couldn't help but worry. I was only trying to keep an eye on you.
What are you even doing on the battlefield? You endangered yourself and got hurt. Such a stupid thing to do.
Yes, of course, you're right. I have no excuses.
If you intend to carry on being such a fool, you'd best stay near me.
Are you sure? I'd hate to get in your way again.
You can... You can keep thinking of me as your little brother. And that'd be better than going through this again.
But I thought you didn't like that. Didn't you say you were fed up with it?
I am fed up with it. I've already spent years filling in for someone who's dead. My older brother inspired love and respect. He was a great knight. He died. Since his death, his memory has followed me around like a shadow.
Oh, I didn't know you had a brother too.
I don't let my personal feelings distract me on the battlefield. Still, do I really remind you of him?
Well, you don't look like him, but something about you feels so familiar. It just makes me want to protect you. That's not to say that you're incapable or unreliable or anything like that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You're the one who just came to check on me.
You need to pay attention to your surroundings. You're reckless. Lives are at stake, including mine when I have to run over and save your skin.
Yes, I'll try to be more careful. Thank you for being so kind, Felix.
Whatever.
Oh, how I just love to clean the library room. Just takes a flash of light, and then it all goes boom. A flash, and then a big boom.
If you blow up the library, where will we put the books?
A flash, and then a big ah! What are you doing here, Felix?
I heard singing.
You were watching me again, weren't you?
Well, your skill is impressive, I'll admit.
Oh, today of all days. I knew I should have chosen a different song.
A different song? Like what?
Any of them. The box song, or maybe the dungeon song.
Now, those sound interesting.
No, they're just regular songs. Forget it. While you're here, can you help me clean up? I need the books on that shelf up there, but I can't reach them.
Oh, sure, no problem. What, you're not going to sing anymore?
No way! It's too embarrassing. And that song isn't even finished anyway.
Ah, that's too bad. I wanted to hear what happened after the library was blown away.
Hey, don't look at me like that. Okay, fine. If you insist, I'll sing just a bit more. Oh, how I just love to clean the library room. Just takes a flash of light, and then it all goes boom. A flash, and then a big boom. Suddenly the deed is done. My, what a great job I did. Who says cleaning isn't fun?
Huh, that doesn't really explain what happened with the library. Maybe they'll build a new one?
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Hey, you.
Maybe.
There you are, Ingrid.
Whoa, hi, Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
A book I found in town. I bought it for you.
For me? Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap. Wow, the cover is stunning, and the binding is still in fantastic condition.
I drove a hard bargain. Still, I'll probably have to cut back on my spending for a while.
Why did you go to so much trouble?
It wasn't easy, but as soon as I came across this legend, I knew you had to read it too.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
Fascinating, right? I was captivated from the moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled with beauty, even amid a gruesome battle. Wait, looking closer at the face, this knight is a woman.
Yes, and she was a real historical figure. She was born into a noble family and bore a crest, but she was accepted into the king's service as a knight. She fought in many battles at her king's side, serving him all her life as his right hand. Oh, sorry, I've said too much. I didn't mean to spoil the story for you. I'm just so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache. But I still want to pursue that dream. Talking to you has reminded me. I'm not the type who gives up easily.
That's the Ingrid I know.
So to start, I'm going to read this book.
Great! When you're finished and freshly inspired, we'll talk about becoming knights. Not the ones in stories either. The real thing.
I look forward to it, Ash.
This is why I keep telling people we need to keep her underground. It's a miracle that no one was hurt. Next time, we may not be so lucky.
What makes you so certain this incident was caused by her sighing? It seems unfair to cast blame until you're truly sure.
Isn't it obvious? A horde of monsters appeared out of nowhere and attacked us.
Uh-oh. You guys are talking about me, aren't you?
There you are. You won't get away with this crime. I'll make sure everyone knows who was to blame.
Hey, you didn't answer my question.
He doesn't care what we have to say. Forget about it.
No, you told me you had nothing to do with this. I can't just leave it alone.
Yes, you can. And you don't need to worry about it.
But I do. What if they pressured you into confessing something you hadn't actually done? They mean well, but they seem to think they have good reasons to suspect you. Those suspicions could lead to forceful questioning. They'll do anything to get to the bottom of this.
You're probably right. If he has his way, they'll do whatever they can to pin it on me. What about you? There isn't some part of you that agrees with that creep?
No. I know you don't sigh unless you absolutely can't help it. You would never endanger people like that unless something pushed you over the edge. I know this wasn't your fault. You said as much, and I believe you.
That's sweet. But unfortunately, your conviction isn't good for much on its own. We have no proof.
Then we'll find proof. If you didn't cause it, then something else did. We just have to find out what. I'll investigate the site where we were attacked. There could be a monster nest nearby.
You're so darn trusting, Freckles. For all you know, I could be lying.
Your commitment to honesty is as strong as mine. You'd never turn your back on our common bond.
You're just like the Luna Knight.
Hey, come on. I was being serious.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, I promise. I guess part of me was hoping to meet one of those storybook heroes. Now I finally have.
If that's how you feel, then I'm going to live up to it. I'll do my best to make sure you never sigh again.
Professor!
Do you have time for a request? You've done me a great service.
Mercedes, I swear, the whole cathedral glows with heavenly light when you're around.
Hello, Sylvain. What a treat to see you here. I thought you preferred places with more ladies around.
I'm here because you're here, and I don't care about other girls.
Oh, come now. I'm sure you use that line all the time.
Actually, I've only said it to girls who thought I was lying about being You know what? There's no reason to get into all that. The truth is, I would really like to spend some time with you. What do you say to that?
Well, if you were really interested in me, I would want you to get to know me better.
I agree. I've been such an idiot in the past, always angling for the seduction. I've forgotten how to just talk to someone.
You act like you're full of regret, but I know you don't really mean it. Still, I'm glad to hear you say that at least. I told you such a boring story the last time we spoke. I was worried you might think I was a dull person.
Dull? No. I was worried that I'd made you remember unhappy times. It's horrible what you had to go through. It's not like anyone chooses to be born with a crest.
Right. We can't choose our bloodline. You've got a crest too, haven't you, Sylvain? What has your experience been like?
Are you asking how being born with a crest affected me?
Yes. I know there was that business with your brother Miklon, but I'm sure you don't want to talk about all that.
It's not a very happy story.
Please don't feel the need to hold back on my account. I'm here if you need someone to share in your pain.
Would you want to know more about me, even if I didn't have a crest, or come from a noble family?
This has nothing to do with your crest or family. I'm just asking as your friend. How should I put this? When I look at you, I don't see a crest. I want to see the real you.
You do? Here's the short version. I hate crests. Even though having one is supposed to be such a great blessing, mine has ruined everything. Miklon was heir to our house. Then I was born, and I became the heir because I had a crest. That made my older brother jealous enough to want to kill me. And every woman in Fodlan wants to have my little crest baby, so they can join the nobility. Yeah, there you go. That's what it's like to have a crest.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to dredge up such awful things.
No, I should keep my temper better. I don't want you to see me act that way.
Don't say that. I'm glad we were able to talk. I feel like I'm finally seeing the real you. Oh, Sylvain, will you save me from the curse of having a crest?
Of course. I think I love you. And I mean that. With all my heart. I love you, Mercedes. Let's get married and have crest babies.
Sure.
Why am I so unlucky with women lately?
Oh, Sylvain, what's that face for? Have you been dumped again?
Isn't there an unwritten rule you shouldn't ask someone that?
I'm sorry. I thought you didn't mind being dumped. Huh. So your love life can get you down sometimes after all. Who knew?
I'm sad every time I break up with someone. It's just, I usually try to be the one doing the breaking up. I've never had a hard time with girls. Ever. But now when I think about it, I wonder what any of them even liked about me. It's not as if any of them knew much about me. I don't get it.
Isn't that what a relationship is for? Learning about someone else? You can't know it all right at the start.
I asked you before if you would have invited me out if I was a peasant.
You did ask me that, yes.
That was wrong of me to say. It's not an excuse, but I'm always so suspicious. I'm a nobleman with a crest. The marriage proposals don't stop coming. Everybody wants me. Except, they don't actually want me at all. They want my bloodline. Within my family and without. It's always the same story. Sometimes I think that if I didn't have a crest, no one would look at me twice.
I see. And you're probably not wrong. Honestly, I've had those same sort of thoughts myself.
Oh? What sort of thoughts might those be?
I sang, people cheered and applauded, and when I walked off stage, I'd find the same thing every night. A mountain of presents and marriage proposals. But none of those people knew me. All they knew was the singer they saw on the stage. All they wanted was my looks and my voice. None of them even tried to get to know the real me.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this somewhere.
We may come from different places, but we're much the same, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I suppose we are. Look, Dorothea, I've realized something. Even if you were an old grandma, I'd still flirt with you, and I'd absolutely win you over. Though, I'd much rather win you over now, and be with you until you become an old grandma.
That might be the most legitimately romantic thing you've ever said, Sylvain, and I can't say I disagree. I'd rather you win me over now, too, so that I can stay by your side until you're an old grandpa.
Well, before any of that, will you go to dinner with me?
I'd be happy to.
Annie, do you have a moment?
Is this about what happened when we were shopping? If so, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Not so fast. I haven't properly apologized yet. So, I'm sorry. I got scared. Imagine if something bad happened to you because of me.
Mercy.
You would have just run away if you were on your own, wouldn't you? Instead, you acted defensively because I was there. I dragged you down.
Mercy, you're upsetting me. How dare you say that you dragged me down? You know why I was acting so recklessly? Because I wanted to protect my best friend in the whole world.
Annie.
Do you remember when we first enrolled at the academy? It seemed like everyone was leagues ahead of us and so far out of reach. I felt completely hopeless. But because you were there, I didn't lose hope. So, don't say stupid things about how you dragged me down or how you don't deserve things.
Thank you for saying that. And again, I'm sorry. You're just so important to me. I know I could never find another friend like you. You've stayed by my side through thick and thin. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if anything happened to you because of me.
Mercy, can we be friends again?
Of course, Annie. Friends forever.
Good. I don't know what I would have done if we hadn't found a way to make up.
I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner.
No, I'm the one who should have stopped being so stubborn and said something. You know, now that everything's as it should be, I'm suddenly starving.
That's just like you. Come, let's go for tea.
Ooh, let's! And we should have some Mercy-baked sweets on the side. I think I love you more than just about anything in the world.
You do? Oh, Annie, you're too sweet.
Not as sweet as your baking. I love your baking more than anything in the world, too. Other than you.
Well, I'm always happy to bake for you, Annie.
I'm so happy to have you back.
Quite given up on ever seeing you again. Where have you been hiding? Anyway, now that we're reunited in the land of the living, I must fulfill my promise. That's right. I promised the captain I'd protect you in his stead, and now I'll make good on my word.
This experience is critical.
Quite anyway. Oh.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You know, it's such a thrill to be able to greet you like this again. I almost died as well in the battle 5 years ago, but I won't allow any enemies to get into this place again. I promise you that. Even if the Death Knight shows up, I'll be sure to... Well, for now, I'll keep training, so I can eventually feel confident that I can stop him. What?
What do you require? Farewell.
Got a favor to ask.
Hello there. This one, yes? I thank you. Return soon, please.
Really now? There's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be endangered. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor? Thanks for finding this. I honestly never thought I'd see it again.
Oh.
You're kidding. Is Dedu really gone? There's so much more I wanted to say to him. He was always so tender with the flowers in the greenhouse. I wonder how they're doing.
I need a favor.
Hey, I could use a hand.
I finally managed to meet up with everyone again, but they're all so gloomy. Hey, Professor, care to join me for a cup of tea? We could invite the others and the soldiers. Doesn't it? Oh, there probably isn't time to bake any treats, though. Oh, I should invite Dimitri to come along as well. Though I don't suppose he'll want to join in.
Good work. Should we call it a day?
Thank you. Yes, let's. Catherine, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you something.
Let me guess. You're going to ask why you're so bad at predicting my attacks.
When I expect an attack from above, you surprise me from below. When I expect a jab, I get a sweep. You seem to anticipate my anticipation.
It's probably because you're a straightforward, honest person. You're reading my movements and trying to calculate what I'll do next.
It has always seemed the most sound strategy when engaging in combat, yes.
Right. Well, I take that anticipation and turn it against you. I use my eyes and the tilt of my sword to mislead you. Catching your opponent off guard is the trick to staying alive in combat. You've got to keep yourself alive if you want to protect Lady Rhea, right?
Your dedication to Lady Rhea's safety is truly inspiring, Catherine.
You flatter me.
My dream is to become a knight and protect my king, no matter the cost. There is no greater purpose I can serve. Although your fealty is sworn to Lady Rhea, you are the ideal knight I aspire to be.
Admire me to your heart's content, but I'm...
Catherine, I'd be honored if you would make me your squire.
My what now? Oh, you're far too straight-laced to be my squire.
However you might judge me, I'm quite serious about this.
All right then, why not? Let's start by teaching you how to flirt with handsome men.
Pardon me? That can't possibly be where you want to start.
Nah, I was just kidding. I wish I knew how to flirt with handsome men. Instead, let's teach you to lighten up.
Ah, understood.
Listen carefully, Cyril. This is important. Are you interested in becoming a better archer?
Yeah. I always want to get better.
Good. Then you need to find another teacher.
What? Why would I need another teacher?
Because I said so.
Have I done something wrong, Shamir?
Not at all.
Why do I need a new teacher then?
I simply have nothing left to teach you.
Nah, that can't be true.
It is. Your fighting style is fundamentally different from mine. I'm a sniper. I find a secluded spot on the battlefield and pick my enemies off one by one. But you're a harrier. You weave in and out of the battlefield, assailing the enemy with rapid fire.
A sniper and a harrier?
Correct. And your progress has revealed where your strengths lie. I've taught you as much as I can. You'll have to find a teacher who specializes in your tactics if you wish to grow.
No, you're my teacher. That's how I want things. I don't know about specializations or whatever, but I know I don't want a different teacher.
Then you'll never improve.
I'm fine with you, and I don't want anyone else. I only want you, forever and ever.
Okay, Cyril, let's forget this conversation ever happened. And thank you. Now, stop standing around. We've work to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I have some experience with cooking. I'm sure I can aid you in the kitchen. Let me consider. How the meal tastes affects the morale of the troops. An army marches on its stomach. Oh.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason. I'd like some more.
This is a wonderful dish. You could sell this in any restaurant in the capital.
Hey, Professor. It's been a while. It's really good to see you again. An awful lot has happened in these past 5 years. There were so many times I wished you were around. I'm glad you're back. Your skills are worth more than a whole army.
Professor, is there any reason for me to remain here? I want to be useful, of course, but I'm not sure anyone needs me. If you really mean that, I will stay and do my best to help.
Professor.
Professor?
This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. If you say so. But I notice you doing it all the same. It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Middle Franc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts. I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist. Professor. Oh, thank you.
Professor. Thanks for your help out there. Battles tend to go smoother with you around. I think you did most of the heavy lifting. It may be unwise to think this way on the battlefield, but I feel I can trust your commands without question. Don't we all? But judging by the results of our recent battles, you're clearly good at this. I've also noticed that you've been putting me in more precarious situations lately. Almost like you know I won't question your orders. Huh. I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but still, I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leading the charge against the Empire. Funny to think you used to just teach at the Officers' Academy. Your old students still call you Professor. That's no title for the commander of an army. You'll always be their professor, huh? You sure are an interesting one. My people lost the war, and I was left to wander Fodlan alone, but I guess meeting you was my prize. You look confused. Did you not know any of this? I was living in my homeland of Dagda up until the Imperial Army destroyed it 10 years ago. But being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. That's why I'm working here now. Don't worry, though. I don't plan to turn on you.
Professor.
Right.
Hey. I'm more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around.
Hey!
Okay.
I'm in the Alliance. The Lords have been at odds, so peace and prosperity have declined there as well. In particular, bandits have been appearing in large numbers near the Great Bridge of Myrden. Rumor has it that the domain's lord, someone by the name of Acheron, is a completely ineffectual leader. Hi.
Yes. During his search for her grace, the Archbishop, Seteth has visited churches all across the land. It served to demonstrate to the devout across Fodlan that the Church of Seros is still going strong. As a result, the faithful are not currently in a state of chaos.
Right.
Professor?
Hello.
During the Millennium Festival, the leaders of all territories were supposed to gather together and pledge perpetual peace. But now that hope has been dashed, thanks to the Emperor's actions. The Alliance is also divided on the subject of the Empire, so internal conflicts are a regular occurrence.
Professor, I am so glad you are unharmed. No matter the path you walk, I will be with you every step of the way. Anything you ask of me, I shall see it through. You saved my life, and I am...
Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing? You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble. Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life. Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like? In other words, he was exactly the same. When I was his squire, he was always hollering for a drink. He just wouldn't put a cork in it. But on the battlefield, he was unequaled. That's why people used to call him the Blade Breaker. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me.
These past 5 years, many kingdom houses have become vassals of the Empire. The major houses of Fraldarius, Gautier, Karen, and my own family Galatea remain loyal. But the lords of the minor domains in the west have almost entirely defected. After all the royal family has done for them, they respond with betrayal, and to think they have the gall to call themselves nobles. But we still have His Highness, and you, Professor. I'm sure we can take back the kingdom's lands.
Delicious, is it not? There is little that can rival the taste of a freshly caught fish grilled to perfection over an open flame. I prefer mine with a pinch of salt.
Look at you, eating regular food like the rest of us regular folk.
It's only temporary. A fish from the river is a coin saved at the marketplace. My project will require every bit of gold I can spare.
Plus, there's a war going on. We've all got to save money however we can.
Constance, what is that shabby meal you're eating with such lowly company?
I suppose after all that's happened, she's given up on regaining her noble title. Probably for the best.
How dare you! Would you two mind your own business? We're just trying to eat in peace.
Did you hear that? It sounds like a stray cat is screeching at us.
Oh dear, she's not using any silverware to speak of. She's just eating with her paws.
I'd expect that from a commoner, but Constance seems to be doing the same thing. How humiliating.
Oh, we're so vicious. Beating up on poor, pathetic Constance after all of her setbacks. What are you laughing at? Pardon my outburst, but I couldn't help myself after your ridiculous conversation. How I eat my fish has nothing to do with my status. In fact, I shall vow one thing now. When House Nouvelle is restored, I shall bite into a whole fish thrice weekly.
Pardon?
Moreover, Happy is a dear friend. I won't permit you to call her a stray cat or anything so insulting. We shall continue to remain steadfast friends, even after my title is restored.
And how soon do you expect that to happen?
We both know that if she carries on with such disgraceful behavior, she won't restore her house anytime soon.
Well, for the upper class, those two seemed rather classless.
What just happened?
knew them of old. They were Callow noblewomen from the School of Sorcery.
No, I mean, you said that I'm a dear friend. Did you really mean that?
Oh, one says all sorts of things when one feels like being cruel. But yes, I really meant that. Even when I am a noble once more, I expect you to keep me company well into my dotage.
Of course, Coco. Won't be easy getting rid of me.
Yes.
Really?
It seems that in the last 5 years, the monks here have left this place for the town below. However, once they learn of our return, perhaps they'll come back. I hope the monastery can return to normal someday.
This is no good. I'll keep...
Hello. I have a request concerning that creature. I can hardly look at the thing in the state it's in. Do something about it. Please do. We tracked the boar for 5 years. I thought he was dead. In the state he's in, he might as well be. He's gotten better at killing people, and in exchange, surrendered what little humanity he had.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about rebuilding, but I can sure do my best to clean up the mess. I'm gonna keep Lady Rhea's room spotless, so she can use it right away whenever she gets back.
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
In Lady Rhea's absence, I will follow you. That's what she would want me to do. Know that wherever you might lead us, I'll continue searching for Lady Rhea. Good, because I will not budge on that point. Welcome back, Professor.
What?
Yes. 5 long years I've searched for you and the Archbishop. It is a pleasure to see you again. The Church of Seiros will follow you from now on, but please do not abandon the search for Lady Rhea. Thank you. I know the battles ahead will be dire, but we will support you with all our strength.
There is still more to learn.
Professor? My professor? You haven't changed a bit. At your age, I'd expect your whole demeanor to have changed greatly over 5 years. Though, I suppose I haven't changed either, right? Thank you for noticing, by the way. Ah, just the two of us, forever young. Oh, let me have my fun.
What do you say? Thankfully, it appears the records and equipment I need for my research have not been damaged. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin.
Hey, you.
Yep.
We have given proper burial to the Imperial soldiers killed in the monastery, the ones who were sent to investigate the thieves. Already, rumors spread that they were utterly annihilated. So regardless of whether there are spies observing us, the Imperial army will know of this soon enough. Your Highness, Dimitri, how could you be so reckless? I have a request.
Thanks for the tips.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'm looking sharp, huh?
Go on, sing my praises again.
Can't say
That was nice. That was nice.
Looks like I did it. Ah, no big deal. I appreciate your guidance. That was challenging. I appreciate your guidance.
Hey, that was useful.
Of course I got it. No need to butter me up. Quite intrigued.
I would like to do this again, so... I have done it! No need to discontinue. I would like to... I have done it!
This will be useful.
I see. Professor.
Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you. Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this. This isn't something I open up about with many people. Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry, for the benefit of the Galatea family. Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry. That I have shunned my duty as a noble. To follow both my dream and my duty? I had never considered that as an option. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
Hey, friend. Thanks for joining me when I had to deal with that mess a while ago. You were a real help. I wouldn't say you fully earned my trust, but you've earned something for sure. I owe you. I can't not worry about it. I don't like owing people. Guess I'll just have to surprise you someday. I was just rummaging through what we recovered from the Scorpions, and I stumbled across something pretty special to me. It was under lock and key, so those thugs probably thought it was something of high value. The Elder gave it to me when I was small. Losing it really got me where it hurts. I guess it couldn't hurt to tell you about it. Can't quite remember how old I was, but my mother had taken in an elderly man wandering the town. He was worse for wear, could barely even walk. She nursed him back to health under our humble roof. In return for her kindly gesture, he taught me to read and write. This notebook is a relic of those times. Not too long after that, I came down with a terrible illness. We had no money to speak of, so a doctor's visit was out of the question. My mother went everywhere asking for help, to no avail. And then the Elder stepped in and saved me. I don't know how he did it, or what it was he did.
long since passed on. Natural causes. I believe it happened shortly after he cured me. My illness, it turns out, was part of a larger plague that swept through our village. So many died. And there I was, having escaped death by some strange luck. I felt grateful. And helpless. So little Yuri figured it would be his mission to help anyone he could as he grew up. However I could. Not necessarily by making gold rain from the sky, but in smaller ways. The streets are filled with kids who have no homes, no food, so many dying of disease, where some cheap medicine would have saved them. I figure, if I can save even one unlucky soul, well, it's a small dream, but it's one I hold in my heart. To help those who need it. It's what my gang's about. When I recruit my people, it's to that end. To give them a home. The turf wars, the gang, all of it. To honor that dream. Yeah? Well, thanks. Despite what you now know about me, I'm still the Lord of the Underground. Don't go forgetting that. I do what I have to, whether people view it as fair or foul. The way I see things, the goddess gave me two gifts. My life and my charm. That's been gift enough to get in with slimy nobles, so I can pull their strings as I see fit. Of course. It wasn't always easy, but in the end, it's all the same little game. Once I used a clever name, and my charms, to become the attendant to the head slug of a noble house. Yet another time, I took a name befitting the kingdom that landed me in the academy as a noble's adopted son. That's how I've gotten this far and earned my fortune. In doing so, I've spread my wings of protection further, to help those who need it most. As though I'd tell you, friend. But perhaps you can share what it is you think. Hmm?
Professor, a moment. I am sorry that I doubted your ability. I deeply regret ever holding such a view of you. It is obvious to me now that you are extraordinary. Do you doubt your own power, even now? I suppose that's only natural. You've lived your whole life knowing next to nothing about yourself. Not even Gerald could have possibly known all there is to know about you. But I wonder, are you satisfied with that? Are you content, not knowing who you are? Or do you yearn to know more? That was a foolish question, of course. You are not the sort to be complacent. So, only one more question matters. Are you ready? The truth. All of it. Learning it will doubtlessly have direct consequences on your life. I do not know what those will be. You may decide, once you learn it, that you wish you hadn't. But even if you have such regrets, you will never be able to return to ignorance. So, are you ready to know the truth? I see. That is what I wish to hear. Since the Archbishop put so much faith in you, I will continue to offer my aid. More than that, I will put my faith in you as well. And I will do all that is within my power to help you someday reach the truth.
Come, we have work to do.
I think we can manage.
Mission complete. How best to use this skill? I'm getting the hang of it.
I've never sung a song before, so I don't know if I'm good or bad at it.
Singing is nice, isn't it? The only thing is, I'd prefer to do it without an audience.